Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing this evening? It is cold outside, you guys. It is currently 11:59 p.m. on this Tuesday evening, going into Wednesday morning. It is currently 30 degrees outside, and it is very, very chilly. Although I'm looking at the trees in front of me, I will show you what I'm looking at. And it is completely still, so not very windy out tonight. I'm not gonna vlog for a really long time tonight, just because my I think like the last 2 weeks my vlogs have been between like an hour and a half, and so I thought I would do a little bit of a shorter vlog tonight just to let people get caught up and all of that. Plus, I'm really wanting to finish this audiobook tonight that I've been listening to, which is The Girl Who Lived. It is phenomenal, you guys, absolutely phenomenal. And the author is Christopher Grayson. It is so good, you guys. It is so good. But I was reading through these comments before I left, and I saw this comment, and I want to respond to this comment because I thought this would be a good, like, talking point. Hold on, let me let this car go by really quick. Tell them they can go. Oh, they're turning. Okay. So here's the comment. The comment says, "Hey, Peter, what do you do about a friend who you love dearly and have done so much for and are there for them no matter what, even at 36 weeks pregnant at 2 a.m. But whenever you need her, she's not there for you?" I nicely confronted her about this, and her response is always, "Take me as I am or not at all," which I think is kind of a harsh response. But then she always claims we are still BFFs. It doesn't feel that way to me. Every time I bring it up, she gets so upset and says she wishes I would stop questioning her friendship. It just feels one-sided and fake. I'm about to stop talking to her, period. And I'm laughing because I think that that's the point that we get to in situations like this, you know? And I've had friendships like this. I think, and this is the older I get as well, that friendships should be mutual, you know? And I don't think they should necessarily be tit for tat, and that everything, you know, is equal score. There shouldn't be scorekeeping in friendships and things like that. But I definitely feel that we should feel like our friends are there for us, you know, if we need them. And that doesn't mean that they're, like, that goes without, you know, their, you know, situations where they can't be. Because there's been situations in my life where, you know, my friends just, for whatever reason, couldn't be there for me. Or I couldn't be there for, you know, a friend because of other circumstances in our lives. And that's understandable, right? But when it's time and time again, you know, if a friend came to me, honestly, let me play this from the other side. If a friend came to me and said, you know, I feel like I'm always there for you and you're never there for me, and my response to that would be, wow, is that like really how you see it? Like, that really hurts me, you know? And I don't want you to see our friendship that way. What can I do to change that? I can't even imagine thinking that my response to that would be, take me as I am or don't take me at all. Basically what that person is saying to you is, I feel like what that person is saying is that this friendship's not that important. If somebody said that to me, if I went to a friend of mine, and I had mentioned it on numerous occasions, and I had said, you know, there are conditions of this friendship that hurt my feelings. One being that I feel like whenever I need you, you're not there for me. And their response to me was, take me as I am or don't take me at all. I think I probably would be at a point where I'd say, I guess I'm not going to take you at all. You know, and I think the sad thing is that we are so emotionally, I'm really sorry that you're going through this, first of all, you know. It makes me sad. But I think we invest so much in friendships, and, you know, my friendships sometimes mean more to me than my relationships with family because I don't have that many family left. You know what I mean? Alex and I were talking because my cousin posted a picture. She's on a girls trip this weekend, but or this week, but she's in Key West, and she posted a picture and of the beach and said that today was 5 years since my aunt passed away. And it got me thinking about all kinds of things. It got me thinking about that day. And, you know, my relationship with Caroline is very unique. And it's what I always wanted to have with Caroline. I always wanted this very brother-sister relationship with her. But I was really the one that had to Caroline's always had a lot of people in her life. A lot of people that are really close to her as friends. I really had to initiate that and tell her that that's what I wanted, you know, and then calling her on a regular basis. And now she's like, if I don't call her, she's like, I miss you calling me all the time. I'm like, yeah, I know. But you can call me too, girl. And she does. And that's the thing. It's like, she knows now that like I like to have people call me too. And I think that's the thing is, you know, nobody knows how to be a perfect friend. Nobody knows how to be perfect in a relationship. That's why we tell each other what our needs and our desires and our wants and our hopes are for that friendship or that relationship. And if the other person's response to that is, I refuse to grow, you know, just take me as I am or don't take me at all. I don't know, that would be really hurtful to me if I heard a friend say that to me. I would basically hear them saying, so my concerns don't mean anything to you, you're not willing to take any regard to that whatsoever, then all you care about is just you're going to stay the same way forever and I can either deal with it or not be in your life. Like, I don't know. I do know that in recovery, and this has been a hard thing for me to learn, that when it comes to service, and I know this is completely different, but I think it's a good analogy. When it comes to service, you know, we are taught to be there for the alcoholic and addict, right? To reach out our hand and to be of service. But if you're attempting to help and work with an alcoholic or an addict over and over and over again, and they don't want it, then we're told that we're supposed to go find other people that want that help, right? I think in a similar manner, if you're putting all this time and energy into a friendship, I am really kind of beating around the bush with this. If a friend of mine asked me what I thought about this, you know what I would say? I'd say I'd be done with that friendship, period, end of story. I wouldn't have somebody speak to me that way. I don't have people speak to me that way in my life today. At all. I just don't. I don't have people in my personal life, in my personal space, which is very sacred and safe to me. I don't have people that talk to me that way. You know, and that was something that changed over a long period of time. But what I was going to say, finishing that other statement, was that if this person isn't giving you the friendship that you want, maybe put more time and energy into a friendship that you have, that you haven't been putting that time and energy into. Another friendship, you know, or, I don't know, ask somebody at work if they want to go get coffee or do something, you know, and maybe I try to see if another friendship will blossom or bloom as a result of that. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's sad. One of the things that it took me a long time to get here where I'm at today. And I still really struggle with it. But when, you know, like, I grew up being bullied in school, right? And what that taught me was people can talk to me any way they want. And people can say whatever they want to say to me. And that whenever I challenged that or whatnot, like, it always put me in a fear perspective. Fear of losing any kind of friendships that I might have had, which I didn't really have any, but, like, you know, friendly relationships or acquaintances in school. Or it made me afraid that people were going to talk bad about me, or people were going to make even more fun of me. There was always, like, this fear factor thing, you know? And I think, like, much of my life, I wanted, you know, people to like me. I think we want people to like us. And so when I've been in situations like that, where I have had friends that have walked all over me, you know, I didn't get sober, and I didn't work this hard on myself in my life to be a doormat for other people. And I don't think you did either. And I don't think most people did, you know? It's like, I don't know, I just woke up one day and I was like, I'm not going to be here for that much longer. And the time that I am going to be here, I want to enjoy, and I want to be surrounded by people that love me and support me and care about me and treat me the way that I treat them. And, you know, and if they can't, and they can't even be honest with me, like, this is the conversation that I was talking about with Meredith. This is the third video talking about this with Meredith from Salt Lake City, when she was saying to Jen, like, because of our issues, I can't be that friend for you right now, but you need that friend. Like, if somebody couldn't even be, if your friend could say to you, you know what, like, you are a needy person, and that would even be hard, right? But like, you're a needy person that needs a lot from somebody, and I just can't be that for you because, I have been biting. Remember the other day I said I didn't even bite the side of my mouth, and then I bit the side of my mouth, and then I just bit my tongue. But you know, like, for somebody to say, I can't give you what you want right now. This hurts so bad. I can't give you what you want right now as a friend. And I'm sorry, you know, I'm sorry that I'm falling short as a friend. And I wish I could be what you wanted me to be, but I can't, you know, and I can't be there for you every time that you need me. At least that would be honest. You know, at least that would be, I don't know, somebody trying to be honest with you. I'd appreciate that. I would respect that. I'd have real respect for that. But for somebody just to act like, take me as I am or don't take me at all, I'd say, okay. It wouldn't take me, you know, 20 years ago, if somebody had said that to me, I would have been like spinning in my head. I would have been like, what did I do? Like, what did I do wrong for this person to, I would make it about me. You know, what did I do wrong that this person is so ready to get rid of me as a friend? Why, you know, I would have made it all about me. I don't do that today. I say to myself, wow, this person doesn't really value me as a friend, and I hope there are people out there that do value me as a friend, but I'm spending a lot of time and energy worrying about this person and being there for them, and I don't feel like the relationship is reciprocal. And here's the other thing, okay? I wouldn't tell anybody just to get out of a friendship because you're not getting what you want or whatever. But I also think, like, friendships are supposed to be positive relationships in our lives. They're not supposed to be service positions. So if you're in a friendship where you feel like you're doing all this stuff for somebody else and there's not a lot of fun, and that person's putting a label on it that we're best friends forever, and you don't feel that way, and you don't even feel like to your best friend forever that you can say, I don't feel like we are because you don't treat me as such. I mean, you would think that to a best friend, you would be able to say that. I mean, my friend Tanya and I have very real conversations with each other. And that's not to say that we don't argue, but that's not to say that we don't ever cross lines with each other. And I might say something to her, she might say something to me, and, you know, where we have to set, you know, boundaries and whatnot with each other. And that's being in a healthy relationship, you know? So, I don't know. It's been a long time since I've had a friendship like that. You know, I had this friendship for a long time that I really felt sorry for this person, even though they were one of the most selfish people I'd ever met in my entire life, and they literally had everything handed to them, and there was very little gratitude for it. And then every interaction was always just, let me tell you how miserable I am. You know, and while they're traveling here and going there, and, you know, and I'm trying to make ends meet and figure it all out, right? And I'm like, oh yeah, you know, I can imagine how hard that is, how tough that is. And then over time, I started just not responding. Because I did say stuff over and over again. I'd say, you know, like at first I didn't say anything, and then it was just kind of old to me after a while, and I'd say, you know, like, do you think you could find some gratitude a little bit? I mean, you have a pretty good life, you know, if I had your life, I think I'd be pretty happy, you know. Oh, you don't know how miserable I am, you know, my gosh, like, if anybody had my life, they'd be so miserable. And I'm thinking, really? You've, on the outside looking in, and you don't have a lot of worries, and pretty beautiful life, you know, not to appreciate anything. And, so I just couldn't do it anymore, because we would go out to lunch and it would be 2 hours of just, I'm so miserable. And also didn't respect my boundaries. That was another thing. Didn't respect my boundaries with certain things when it came to like substances and stuff around me. And I just was like, showed up high. We would go to lunch and they would show up high. And I just was like, you know what am I doing here? Like, I had to start questioning myself. Like, why am I in this relationship? Like, why am I in this friendship? Okay, like, this doesn't even make any sense to me, right? Because I feel sorry for this person. And then I started distancing myself because I didn't really know what else to do. Well, now every 3-4 months, I get just really guilt-trippy messages, you know, about I don't know, there's no self-awareness there. There's not a lot of self-awareness there, you know, of, wow, I can see how I'm affecting the people around me. And, you know, and so then it turned into this guilt-trippy kind of thing where it's been months since I've gotten a message. I don't even know the last time, but it's like, you know, like, I thought we were better friends than this, and, you know, I've tried so hard to be the best friend in the world to you, and you just don't care. And I'm like, I've literally told you, sitting there looking at you, that, like, I'm trying to be positive in my life, and I'm trying to have positivity around me, and you have this amazing life. If I even told you specifics, you guys would be like, oh my God. And it's like, you just complain nonstop. And I can deal with that every once in a while, you know? I think that is part of being a friend, is listening to somebody complain and you complaining to them and whatever. But, like, literally, that is your language. It's like, come on, it's draining, you know? And so then, you know, the first couple times, it was years ago, first couple times I would respond, and then they'd be like, whenever you're ready to see me, you know, I'll always be here for you, and we can do lunch. And I would text back and I'd say, pick a day, let me know when you want to go do lunch. No response. None. They just wanted to guilt trip me. Now I was part of the misery, you know? No response whatsoever. And I would, you know, say, hey, listen, pick a day and we'll go have lunch. No response. And that happened over the period of about 2 years, every single time. You know, you don't want to get together with me, blah, blah, blah. Okay, let's go do something. Let's go have lunch, pick a day. You know, my schedule's pretty free. No response. Because they didn't really want to go to lunch with me. They really just wanted to complain about, you know, they knew what it was. So then I started just getting the text messages about, you know, like, and now I don't respond. I literally just do not even respond to it. I can remember having a 45-minute conversation at lunch one time about how this person likes everybody's pictures on Facebook and nobody likes their pictures. And so then I made a point of going in, like, every day and liking their pictures because I felt bad. I don't even post on Facebook. What? You know? And then recently, a couple months ago, I think it was, I heard through the grapevine that somebody else was having a very similar situation, you know, with me. This is where I think self-awareness, inventory evaluation is really important, you know? And, this other friend, who I don't even know, this other friend of theirs, they got into some argument, and it was I don't even know what it was about. It was about, like, them wanting to take time off to go on a vacation, and the person was like, I can't take any time off, like, I have a job, I have to work, you know, because they don't. And they were like, they said something really nasty to this person. This person's like, you know what? Like, I have dealt with this for years. You are the most selfish person I have ever met in my entire life. And they hung up on him because they can't hear it, you know? So do I think this group of people, and what do I wish for my friend? I wish my friend would find some gratitude, you know? I wish she would get, if I sat right here and said, you don't have any gratitude for your life. You're always about self, you know, it's self-centered talk constantly. Like, get out of yourself, go do some service for some, oh, I'm so good to other people. That's what they would say, you know? Well, it's not always just about buying somebody a nice birthday present. You know, sometimes it's about showing up and suiting up and being there for them. It's not always just about saying, oh, we're BFFs forever, you're my best friend forever, and putting a label on it. Sometimes it's about action, you know? Sometimes it's about, you know, it's like Tanya suiting up and showing up and doing those things, you know? She's taught me that. And being that friend, you know, and not making somebody else's life difficult for them and whatever, you know? I don't know. But that was also a point for me where I was like, I'm not having negative people in my life anymore. I'm just not. And, you know, and then I would feel bad about it because I would say to myself, well, I feel bad because then maybe they won't have a lot of people in their life. And then I was like, my life is too short, you know? It is not my response. I was not born onto this earth to take care of the negative people that have no gratitude in their lives. I was that. It was my job to get myself out of it. It was my job to work on being grateful for the things that I have been given in my life and to realize what a fantastic life I have. It wasn't somebody else's job. It was my job. I'm responsible for Peter. And I rarely talk about myself in third person, but I just did. You know, and I was just like, I can't do this anymore, you know, with not just that person I was talking about, but several people in my life where I was like, I don't want this anymore. And, you know, in several of the friendships, like that was a good example of one, we're not even that like deep of friendships at that point. You know, it was like, why am I have you ever had like this, like, okay, where let's say if you don't talk to somebody, maybe once every 2 to 3 months, but when you do, or when you get the text message and you're like, and it's just like all the energy is drained from you, like in that moment. Or it's like, you know, you have to go do something or do dinner with that person. Not a family member, okay? Because a lot of us, we have to have family in our lives, and that's fine, okay? But somebody that you choose to have in your life, if that person is draining energy from you, why are they in your life? And if you feel sorry for them, what I learned was, I'm not doing that person any favors, you know? So, maybe it's a selfish idea in itself to put ourselves first, but I think like, I think we deserve to enjoy life, you know? I think it's a good question that you ask. Like, what do you do in a situation like that? It's hard. Do you just walk away from the friendship forever? I can tell you with my situations, I slowly walked away from several friendships. Not a lot, but 2 or 3, where I just was like, these friendships are just, they're not healthy for me. They don't make me feel good about myself, and they don't make me feel good about life. And I don't feel like this person really cares if I'm there or not, you know? So, I mean, that person that guilt tripped me and wanted to, you know, tell me what a great friend they were to me. Let me tell you, of all my major life events that occurred in the last 5 years, they didn't reach out to me over any of them, you know? So, I don't know. I have a couple friendships, though, that I'm still, like, holding on to, that I'm like, I hope things change, and I hope that they grow and learn, or we grow and learn together, you know, that, you know, I have another friendship that's similar to that, and I do feel sorry for that person, because they are a very lonely person, and they've lost a parent, and I think they're very misunderstood, and I do love and care about them, they're very negative, you know, and it's another person that I wish they could see, like, what an amazing life that they had. And, you know, and every once in a while they can say it, but I don't feel like they ever really feel it. And it's not like I need my friends to just be bursting with, like, I have an amazing life. I mean, hell, listen, I'm in recovery. You know, there's several of my friends are, like, living just pure hell on earth, okay? So it's not like I need my friends to just be full of gratitude 24 hours a day. It's not like that. But, like, if every once in a while you can't just be like, hey, this is kind of fun for us to sit here and have a cup of coffee and enjoy each other's company without it having to be this big thing. That's what I'm saying, okay? I'm not talking about we sit together and go, God, I'm so grateful for my amazing life 24 hours a day. I'm talking about, like, let's just be happy about the small moments that we get to sit together. I mean, it's not like Tanya and I hold hands and we're like, oh my God, Tanya, I love you so much. I love you too. I mean, we do say that to each other, but it's not like, I mean, we just drive and laugh and, like, in that moment, I mean, I think that's gratitude in action, you know? It's just having this attitude of gratefulness or this attitude of gratitude where, you know, it's just like, you just are thankful for stuff, you know? And it's just that, you know? I just realized while I was listening to this, my friend Valerie watches all my vlogs, and Valerie's going to be like, is he talking about me? He better not be talking about me. And Valerie, I am not talking about you, dear. I love you. Although Valerie does have an amazing life, but I'm not talking about Valerie. That's the part she's going to be, but no, girl, I'm not talking about you. Valerie is somebody, like, my friends that I have close in my circle are people that I feel like are very grateful, you know, like, Valerie is somebody that talks a lot about her family and just loving to be around her. Like, that's, to me, that's gratitude in action, you know? It's just being like, oh my God, and I loved being around, you know, my family and blah, 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 whatever. And I think it's that kind of stuff, you know? Not the opposite of that, which is, God, I don't want to go hang out with these people. Then don't. It's your life. Don't do it if you don't want to do it. I don't do a whole lot anymore that I don't want to do. And I ask myself before I go do it, like, you know, do you really want to go do this? So, I don't know what to tell you about your friend. You know what I might do? I might, if this were me, I'm just telling you, if this were me, I would call that person up and I'd say, or see him in person. I think seeing somebody and having those conversations in person is better. And I'd say, hey, listen, because I love you and because I value this friendship, although I'm starting to not feel that way, I want to give you one more opportunity, okay? And I'm telling you, before I'm done, because I'm very hurt by this situation, I do not feel like you are there for me when I am there for you. And your response to me of, if you don't like it, hit the road or whatever, take me as I am or don't take me as all, was really hurtful to me. And so I just wanted to have one more conversation with you and say, like, I'm hurt by this, and I really want to have a friendship that I feel like is mutual, and that, you know, I know that I can count on you, and see what they say. And if they say, yeah, definitely, I want that too from you, and, you know, let them know the severity of it, and say, you know, if they say, I really want to have that from you too, and I really want to have a good relationship with you, and I want to be there for you, and I want you to be there for me, and I'm sorry if I haven't been, then I would accept that and see how things go, you know, and say, okay, well, let's see how things go over the next, you know, couple months or whatever. But if their response is something that's very similar, like I said, if you take me as I am or don't take me at all, I think that's your answer. And I think you know that, and then the issue is on you, not them. Then it's your stuff, you know? And I think there comes times in life where we have to ask ourselves, you know, at what point am I the one that is holding on too long to something? Like, why am I doing that? Like, what am I hoping is going to change that is not going to change, you know? I also had this activity with this woman that I used to work with, this counselor that I used to work with. She was fantastic, and she taught me this lesson about whether it's getting out of a relationship or making a major life decision in your life, or a small life decision, or whatever, or a situation. It stopped. Of a situation of like what time to, at what point to leave a friendship like this, or whatever, The thing is that, or what she would say to do is, look through your calendar and set a date. Like a month from now, a year from now, 6 months from now, 6 weeks from now, 6 years from now. And go through there and circle that on your calendar and say, like, let's say if it was 6 months from now, right? So let's say if it was July 11th, I'm counting in my head. I was sure it was July, but I was like, let's make sure. So let's say if it was July 11th, right? Okay, so you'd circle July 11th on this and say, between now and July 11th, I am going to give this friendship everything I have. And I'm going to work really hard on it. And I'm going to be honest with my friend about what I need from her and whatnot, right? Or let's say if you have that conversation, because I think at this point, you have the conversation. Now, if she says she does want a good friendship with you, then you set the time, right? And you say, okay, July 11th. And then you don't tell that person about that. You don't say, nah, I'm going to come back and check in here July 11th. You just say, okay, circle the date on the calendar, or write it down on a piece of paper or whatever, just somewhere around there. And then you put everything you have into that friendship. You do everything that you possibly can, right? And when July 11th rolls around, you ask yourself this question: has it changed? Do I feel any different? Do I feel like this friendship is better? Whatnot. If it doesn't, you get the hell out. Because if it hasn't changed by then, it's not going to change. And you set your own timeline. It's like when Alex and I went into marriage counseling. It was a very similar kind of situation we talked about, We were going to give our relationship everything we both had for a year. And if at the end of a year, it hadn't changed, we were out. Because we were going to give it everything that we possibly had for a year. And if it hadn't changed, after a year, then we were done. So, and thankfully, that wasn't the case, I don't even remember when the year came up. I mean, I know that we knew around that time that it was kind of like the 1 year anniversary of that. It was interesting because tonight when I said to Alex, I said, did you, my Aunt Kathy passed away 5 years ago today. And he goes, yeah, I know, I have it in my calendar. He goes, it always reminds me. He keeps special dates like that. I think that's sweet. In his calendar. Keeps dates like that in his calendar. I think it's sweet. But I don't even remember the anniversary of that 1 year coming up or anything like that where we were like, oh, it's been a year, like, let's reevaluate. It was, things were going good. So we didn't need to do that, and you won't either. Like, if things are going good, that date will come and go and you won't even have to think about it, right? But I think it's fair to each and every one of us, to set deadlines and our time, I don't know, I've always remembered her saying that, and it's always been so helpful to me. Oh, man. It's funny because I was talking in my vlog last night about my 9-minute outro that I used to have, and that Troy was writing some things down because he had said that at some point about the outro. And then he messaged me. So, hey, Troy, how are you? Troy messaged me, and he said, it's so funny, like, when people, like, message me like this. Well, first of all, I want to say this. I got a couple emails from people saying that they had noticed when I did my unboxing that I hadn't opened or shown their presents. I will tell you, it is not the first time, nor is it the last, that things that people have sent me have not come to me, and that have either been sent back or gone to the wrong post office or whatever. I get no notification about that if that happens. So if you don't reach out to me, I don't know. I try to show everything that I receive in a video. I think there was there was a period where I got one thing, and then like 3 weeks later I got something else. Because usually like around birthdays and holidays I'll get a lot of stuff and then I show it all, you know. But it was like, because usually in the chair, like I'll put stuff up there that I receive and then I'll show it all together. But it was like several periods apart. And then I just started putting this stuff away because I was like, I couldn't remember if I had shown it in a vlog. Because some things like that, like I'll just like, you know, show, like if it's one or two things I'll show in a vlog, like if I'm in my car and I open it. So I couldn't remember if I opened it. But there was only like 3 or 4 things, maybe 5 total over the month, like over like September and October or something like that, that had come like after I'd done a video or, so anyway. But I received 3 emails, 2 from people at Christmas and 1 from somebody in September. And I believe I emailed all 3 of them back and explained and asked for more specifics of what was in the gift. Because I could tell you, yeah, it's sitting right here, oh, I totally forgot, you know, let me show it in a video. Because that could have happened too, is it could have been something that I had set in a different area or I was using. Like, I don't like to use the stuff that I get in the mail before I show it, because once I start using it, then like the Frango Mint box, like I was afraid to start eating out of that, but I was like, it's Christmas, I'm gonna eat these mints. Because if I did, then I'm afraid, you know, that I'll like, I didn't want to use like the K-cups that I was sent, like that you can put like coffee into it, but I had been dying to use those because I didn't want to forget then to show them in a video. Does that make sense? I think Jennifer, was it Jennifer? I'm almost positive that sent me the K-cups and also the Frango Mints. So, but like, so if it could be possible that it's something that like I put away somewhere or I have sitting on a different table. That could possibly be. But as far as the 2 Christmas ones that came on the 23rd, I don't think there's anything in that house that I got at Christmas that I didn't show in the video. Because I kept them all in a box. Like I kept everything that I got in the big box from the Vloggerinos and then another box. I kept all the boxes in there. So I don't think that there's any possibility that there's something that I haven't received yet. And I think Alex and I went on Christmas Eve to pick up everything. And then I also went the following week to make sure, and there was no notice that I had anything in there. So if the post office didn't miss it, I don't know. But I'm really sorry, you guys. Like, it means a lot to me when you guys put that stuff together and send it to me. So if I don't show it, email me and ask me and be like, you know, like, hey, like, what happened to, you know, ... So anyway, Troy, I was talking about Troy looking up to see what I used to say in my outros. So if you haven't watched the vlog for a while, I used to do these ridiculous outros, okay? I mean, they were literally, you guys, like 9-10 minutes long. I mean, they were really, really long. They were ridiculous. And I don't know what happened. I kind of got into this thing where I felt like I had to say them every day. It was almost kind of like an OCD kind of thing where I felt like I had to say these things at the end of every vlog. And I remember, like, I would, like, start, like, forgetting, like, what order it was in and stuff like that. And I remember one vlog, my friend from high school that watches my vlogs, she commented on it, and she said, you know, you can just say, good night, see you tomorrow. Like, you don't have to do this long intro. And it was just, like, I don't even know how to explain it. It was just such relief, you know? And, I just was like, she's right, I can. And so I did, and I started that. I even feel sometimes bad when, like, after a couple days I haven't done, like, one more I love you, because I know that there are people that like it. So, but, I mean, yeah, there's nothing wrong with me just signing off and saying, see you guys tomorrow, you know? But it was interesting. Troy asked me to, he was like, I wish you could say a couple things every once in a while. And it was interesting, the things that he remembered, because practice random acts of kindness, which I'm such a believer in, you know, and just, but I think I would say write these 3 things down on Post-it notes and start practicing them until you don't need to be reminded of them. It's really what I would say, because that's kind of what I did, you know, is like, I just started practicing these things. I try. Well, this is where it is with me with the random acts of kindness. When an opportunity presents itself, I take it, if that makes sense. So, like, well, I'm not going to come up with examples because I think that's prideful. But just, when opportunities arise, where it's a random act of kindness, like, I'm just going to use this as an example because this is something I try to do on a regular basis, and I don't think that it makes me sound like the greatest person in the entire world, so it's not like I'm patting my own back. But, if I'm driving through, like, the Costco parking lot, if I'm driving, and, Costco's always, like, super packed, and I'm coming down one way, and somebody else is coming the other way, and there's this parking spot in between us, and I know I'm going to get there first, and I know I was there first in that lane, I just let them have it. Let somebody else have a better parking spot for the day and make their day that they don't have to walk as far. I can walk. It's not going to kill me to walk, and it's just stuff like that. I think that we have the ability to change people's moods with just stuff like that. I mean, I've seen people get so frustrated not being able to find parking spaces in parking lots. I've been that frustrated at times. So I think it's just about putting into action, like little random things, and you don't have to go out of your way to look for random acts of kindness, although that would be fantastic if you did. But when an opportunity presents itself, do it. Where you have a chance to be nice, or help somebody out. Trust me, once you start doing them every day, opportunities will arise where you can help somebody out. Trust me. And, the other thing that you could do is you could keep a little notebook. These are random acts of kindness that I could practice on a daily basis, just little stuff. Like with my neighbor putting some of our trash into his trash can. What a small thing. But the last time that we had our trash, the wind hit it, and I was, going looking for trash all over in the yard because it had fallen over. And he knew that. So that was really nice of him, It's just small stuff like that we affect people's lives. It's like my old thing that I used to wish that, I used to believe that if we did this smiling project where I smile at you and you smile at somebody else and they smile at somebody else and on and on and on, before long we're a world of people that are smiling. But what I've learned is that there are a lot of, I have hope, but what I've learned is that there are a lot of people out there that don't really want to smile. There's a lot of people out there that struggle to smile on a daily basis because they got so much going on, and I understand that. But the smiling was an analogy for maybe cheering people up a little bit and helping people's lives improve or making them feel better or happier, The other things that Troy asked me to say were to reach out to somebody every day and let them know how much they mean to you. And that was something that started before the lockdown, I think, but it's really true, just like randomly picking up the phone and calling somebody that you haven't talked to in a while, or text somebody. In recovery, it's really easy because we know so many people that we could just and nobody would think it was weird if I just reached out to somebody and said, hey, just wanted to check in and see if you're doing good today. You're, didn't see you at the meeting on, whatever. And, or text your grandma or text your mom or dad or a friend or whatever and just say, hey. My neighbor the other day, my one to the right, she texted me and she said, hey, I ordered too many bags of, they do, I think they order grocery drop off or whatever that's called, Amazon Fresh, I don't know. But she was like, hey, I ordered too many, or maybe they do the curbside pickup of the groceries, I'm not sure. But she was like, I ordered too many bags of apples. I ordered 4 and I only need 1. Would you like a bag of apples? And I was like, that is so nice and neighborly, So anyway, it's just stuff like that. Just reach out to somebody. You don't even have to offer them a bag of apples. Just reach out to somebody and tell them that you're thinking of them, And then the last one was, you can start your day over whenever you want. And, in all honesty, that's a treatment saying. It's not really a recovery saying. Something I learned in treatment. But it's true. And it's probably been one of the most valuable sayings I have ever latched onto in my life. latched onto latch hook. I could not remember the word latch or the thing latch hook today in my drama video. I was like, what is that? What is that? Oh, latch hook. Somebody said it in my comment on my video. No, but truly, like when you're having a bad day, and I'm not talking about like the really tough days. We need to save the tough days for that. We're going to have the days where, you know, people pass away or get ill, or, you know, we have work problems or whatever. We're just like physically ill and we're not feeling well, or emotionally we're just really, really low. I'm not talking about those days. You know, I'm talking about the days where it's like we just get out of bed, we stayed up too late watching a Netflix series, or we got into a fight with somebody or whatever. You know, it's like, if you're finding yourself easily irritated throughout the day, start your day over. You can start your day over whenever you want. You can go into another room. You can go into, you know, I don't know, coat closet. You can go into your office. You can close the door. You know, it was like a friend of mine was telling me about this the other day. He was like, man, he was like, I was having such a hard time. He was like, and he was like, he works from home. And he was like, I just went to close the door and I closed my computer and I just sat there for a second. And I just was like in total peace and serenity. I was just, or total peace and silence. He was like, I just was like, okay, I'm going to open the door and my day is going to get better. And it, you know, it's not like some magic trick or anything. Like it's going to, you know, magically turn around, or something's going to happen differently, or it's going to instantly get better. But I do think that we have the ability to change our attitude. And I think we do have that ability, you know. We choose to hold on to the resentment, the anger, the negativity, you know. I think that's part of what I realize in getting rid of like people that are really negative around me all the time, is that's like, you know, they choose to do that. Like I chose to be an angry person. I chose to see the glass as half empty. I think it naturally came to me that way, but at the same time I also just kind of like fed into that. And then one day I realized I didn't want to be that person anymore, and I started doing the work, you know, because my husband was sick and tired of it partly, but also because it was draining me. And when I started doing the work, things started to change, you know. So you can start your day over whenever you want. So there you go, Troy. There's the 3 sayings of the world. This has been a good vlog. I didn't even really tell you anything I did today, did I? Well, I slept in because I stayed up way too late listening to my audiobook. And it is so good, you guys. The Girl Who Lived, which is the name of the book that her mother wrote in the book. And then I got up late, and then I hung out with the pups for a while. And then I talked to Tanya Jean, and she said that she wasn't sure she wanted to go to the meeting tonight because she was on her couch and she was tired, and her muscles were sore because she had worked she's worked like the last 7 or 8 days straight or something like that. So I was like, all right. So I said, if you don't go, I'm not going to go. Because Alex and I had some stuff that we wanted to do around the house. And so she was like, okay. So Alex, I decided to stay in too. I was actually going to go get a fountain pop with Tanya later, and because what I bought her for her Christmas present finally came in the mail 2-3 weeks later. And so anyway, well, I bought her something else, but she kind of indicated something about it, like not knowing that I bought it, that she wasn't really interested in that thing. So I got her something else. So anyway, so I wanted to give her that, but I got started late because I was like doing all kinds of stuff. I was balancing my checkbook. Now y'all know how that is. I know none of you do it. Y'all do it online. I balance my checkbook. And for everybody that tells me all that stuff is online, yes, I know, but like, when you have money out there, what it says, and you know, and I pad my account, so I don't look at that online amount, right? Because I pad my account, like I round up my receipts and stuff like that. So I was balancing my checkbook, which I do about once a week. I love to balance my checkbook. I love doing that kind of stuff. I probably get that from my grandma. She was a bookkeeper. Anyway, because my mom said, in case grandma was a bookkeeper, she was real good with numbers. My grandma that went to prison for embezzlement, yeah, she was real good with numbers. Anyway. So then we watched RuPaul's Drag Race, and it was great. It was the first episode, and I really liked it, and I really like a lot of the queens. And Cornbread, I would say, is my favorite. And yeah, it was good. It was a really, really good first one. So that's sad. And then I came out here to vlog, and now I'm vlogging for everybody. So anyway, that was my vlog for the evening. Thank you for listening. If nobody else has told you this today, I love you. You can start your day over whenever you want. Practice random acts of kindness, and make sure that you reach out to somebody and let them know how much they mean to you. And I love you guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Love ya. And one more for anybody that needs to hear it, anybody that wants to hear it, and anybody that just happens to stick around. One more, I love you. I love you guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Love you. Happy birthday, Lena.